totally caught me waking up. What a coincidence that you're here. And I am filming this little video about, I guess, just a morning with me. Definitely not a morning routine because every morning changes and is so different. But I guess all of them kind of start with me checking my phone, especially because that's where my alarm goes off. And I try to keep myself limited on socials, but I definitely still check in on any messages throughout the night and reply to family and friends back in Sydney. I then would preferably like to move from my phone to reading a book. I definitely think if I have the time, especially on a weekend, to crack open a book and get a few chapters in, it is bliss. I'm currently reading Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I definitely picked this book up based on the cover. I just thought it was so beautiful. I've read a lot of it quite quickly, especially because each chapter is from the perspective of a different character. So obviously you have like the main characters, Cleo and Frank, but then every second or third chapter will be a spin-off to one of their friends or family, and that kind of gives you a greater idea of kind of the people circulating in their world. But I have definitely enjoyed reading this, and obviously also it's really pretty on the bookshelf as well. So after I've read a bit, I keep a few things on my bedside table to kind of keep myself moisturized. So my lips are always dry, so I put lip balm on. My hands, especially in London, are perpetually dry, so I usually put hand cream on a few times during the day. Some days I do meditation, some days I don't. Pretty much just depends on what the vibe is. And then I just kind of like sit in bed and film myself like this. No, but I do like the view from my window, so I do enjoy just sitting in bed and people watching. There's a lot of activity that happens out on the street and it's always nice to watch. But when I'm ready to get up, sometimes make my bed. I try to most days, but there are definitely many days I do not. But if I do make my bed, it obviously makes the room feel a bit more complete and also prevents me from getting back in. Other things I like to do in the morning are like make the place smell nice. So I have this diffuser with a bunch of different essential oils. Don't know what the benefits of essential oils are, but I do like the smells that they create. So I usually just put that on and it makes the room smell really nice. And then with kind of the leftover water that I am pouring into the diffuser, I'll water my plants as well because, yeah, they need it. And then between Liam and I, it just depends on who is kind of pottering that morning. And then it's all about like unpacking the dishwasher and generally tidying the space so that you have like a fresh day and we're excited to cook in our space. Otherwise it can just feel a bit chaotic. And I feel like that chaos in the kitchen can translate to your mind. I then definitely drink some water. I also make a tea. I'm a big tea drinker. I've never gotten into coffee, so instead I have some really nice teas. With my teas, I like chai tea with oat milk. And yeah, it's just like a really nice ritual I do not only in the morning, but many times throughout the day. Something else I love to do if I have the time in a morning is to journal. I'm a big journaler. I have many of these little moleskins that I use and kind of keep memories of. I also love my Muji pens, and they're definitely my favorite ones to use. I tend to either do morning pages if I kind of don't have any ideas of what I want to journal, but otherwise there are some journal prompts I turn to, which I'll kind of put on the screen if you ever want to use some. But yeah, I definitely find journaling really important for like keeping stock of my kind of place in life or my thoughts, but also to kind of clear the clutter from my head as well. Then I usually will exercise most days. I'm headed off to yoga because we'll have a long stretchy class. It's a 1.5 hour class, which is particularly luxurious. And when I get back home, I've got kind of my staples: jeans, a shirt, a really warm, cozy jumper with a bit of color in it to help brighten up the day. And then I'll do some skincare-y stuff. I usually don't sit on the floor, but because we're filming, let's roll with it. I have my moisturizer. I use an Aesop moisturizer, honestly, because I just really like the smell. And then I'll put on some sunscreen, and I just use the Glossier brand for that. If I want to put makeup on, I just have the Sephora like matte powder foundation, which I really like, as well as the Glossier mascara. And then my favorite scent at the moment is Hakel's Recolver, which both Liam and I love to use. We head out to a local cafe to grab some breakfast. Here's my second tea for the day and a pastry. This was actually incredibly tasty. I think Forno's tarts are definitely my favorite thing I get from them. And then we head over for a walk and walk down to Columbia Road Flower Market. We pick up some flowers for our space. I think Columbia Road Flower Market can definitely be hectic, but it also can be really nice on days when you feel like seeing just like heaps of people out and about.
Thanks so much.
We grabbed a sandwich to have back home, and that's pretty much, the morning. I hope you enjoyed coming along for this little video, and thank you so much for being here and supporting me.